Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. Today I'm going to do a collective reading. Before we start, there's just a few things. I hope everybody had a great weekend and enjoyed the transition of Pluto going into Aquarius. I don't know if you guys felt it, but it was pretty instant, the shift, and obvious. A sense of lightness. Because although Capricorn and Aquarius are both ruled by Saturn, so they can be heavy in terms of the energy that they carry. You know, with Uranus in Aquarius, it gives it a lighter, just a less serious tone to it, okay? So Pluto transitioning between Capricorn into Aquarius was, it just felt like less heavy, less dense. So anyway, what else did I want to share? So the karmic energies are, even though the energy seems to feel lighter, more playful even, there's a sense of changes, right? Things that transformed are kind of like, there's a karmic masculine that had a massive epiphany. And the epiphany is that he wants to stay in the partnership that he was. In other words, he was already in a karmic partnership and with several other partners, right? Committing to the original karmic, I guess you can say that way, and deciding to make that work, which is, I guess if there's commitment there to work through it, would be great. But sometimes karmics can go through a severe transition and swear that they had their come to Jesus moment kind of thing, and everything looks really good in the moment, and they make all these promises and all these wonderful, have these wonderful ideals of what, how they're going to change and how things are going to be so much different and so much better. And sadly, unless they're genuinely seeking to do the shadow work and evolve, it's going to remain in the same, it'll just go back to the same thing. So hoping that it does evolve into a better situation for these karmics going through dark night of the soul energies. There's the other energy is interesting. There's the karmics that are, there's a certain type of karmic, religious type, even though they're not really religious. They're indoctrinated by religion, and they're closed-minded individuals that don't, that you mention spirituality from this standpoint of tarot, astrology, where they automatically consider it of the devil. And it doesn't matter how kind you are, the deeds that you do in their face, in general, in the public, in private. This type of karmic, it doesn't matter how genuine, how practical even your message can be. It doesn't matter. Once they hear astrology or once they hear tarot, to them, you're a witch. You work for the devil. You are the devil. You're apparently doing witchcraft and rituals, and that kind of mindset is beyond ignorant and beyond foolish in my eyes. I find that people like that, let them deal with their God. You know what I mean? And it's not. I'm not saying that anyone is trying to convert anyone or convince anyone. It's just that you try to give the benefit of the doubt. You are open-minded. Let people have their way. Let people kind of, observe for themselves. It's like, look at the facts. Look at what is. Feel the energy before you automatically go into a judgment. And it's so interesting how the most religious people are the most judgmental, and yet their religion teaches them not to judge. It's a certain type. I'm not saying all religions are that way, or all people in religion are like that. But in my experience, that has been people that are very dogmatic and indoctrinated in their Christianity or in their belief system. It's like they're trained to automatically reject anything that isn't that. And they do themselves a disservice. They do, look at that, the Hierophant. They do themselves a disservice because they close themselves off from opportunities. They close themselves off from getting to know individuals that could potentially be of service in their life in positive ways. But to each his own, let it be what it is. What else? Oh, okay. The whole concept of cheating partners. I find that that's become so obsolete in terms of like where before could have been a gray area, where it was like it was seen as to each his own, and it was kind of like something where people kind of accepted and tolerated because it is what it is kind of energy, or it was just like, well, that's the way it is and that's how they are and that's what they do. It has become so normalized as if that's okay. Because here's what I noticed. Cheaters are cowards, period. They're cowards, and I'll tell you why. Because if who you are is someone that is not monogamous, someone that cannot be loyal or faithful to one individual, why pretend that you are and go behind their back? It's because you're afraid of that person. You're afraid of being real. You're afraid of saying what is true. You're afraid to stand in your conviction of who you are. I would respect an individual that comes to me straight and says, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do, because it leaves the option for me to say I'll accept or not. Not to say that many are going to accept it, but you never know, right? And if the person doesn't accept it, why would you want to be in a partnership with someone that doesn't accept your beliefs or your way of being? You know why? Because not only are they cowards, but they're selfish cowards. Because what's good for the goose to them is not good for the gander. They want to be able to do it, but they can't handle it being done to them. They want to be able to do what they do, and what they get is a thrill for doing it behind the back. It's the thrill of the deceit. It's the thrill of the behind the scenes. Because if it's out in the open, it loses some of their, I guess, whatever it is that they get out of it, the high that they get out of playing, multiple individuals, the fact that they get to get people to fight over them makes them feel important, makes them feel special. That's a coward with low self-esteem, and a selfish coward with low self-esteem. Let's go further. A selfish coward that lacks self-esteem, they don't have what it takes to truly be an individual. This is a follower. This is a weakling. That kind of individual is so pathetic. It's sad. Male or female. Cheating is a weakness. You're a fool. It means you have self-control issues. It means you have self-esteem issues. It means you have insecurity issues. It means you lack courage. How despicable. How embarrassing. You should be embarrassed that you have such a weak, low-grade character. Now, I'm not talking about individuals that are in, let's say, a long-term partnership and go through a rough patch in their marriage or in their relationship, and things get kind of gray area and vulnerability strikes and something major occurs one time. I'm not justifying it, but assuming it happened one time and they're filled and riddled with regret, and they come to their partner and say, I apologize, I did this, I feel terrible, I can't live with myself without being honest with you. I will never do that again. It was the worst thing I could ever do. A person that does that and actually means it and will work towards not being unfaithful, will work towards being loyal and keeping it real, or at least being honest and saying the fact that I did that tells me that my feelings have changed and I need to explore what that means. That open dialogue, that open conversation is more respectable, is more understandable. But we're talking about people that are habitually that habitually they're in partnerships that to them the norm is, oh, as long as I'm happy and high with this person, in other words, that they're getting the juice out of that relationship, as long as things are positive and good, they'll remain consistent until things get a little bit boring, or until things normalize, or until things get mundane. Then to them it's justified, okay, time to get someone else and work that other person until they can determine where they're going to be in a better position. They're in a constant search for the high, constant search for the praise, for that initial spark, that what they call the honeymoon phase. This individual gets off on the energy that they get in the initial dynamic, and as soon as the person starts to see through their colors and calls them out on it, and it becomes a problem, they go to the next. They start creating drama and chaos there, and they end up staying, even though they go to the next one, until they can hop and skip over to the next. Okay? They'll stay. And as long as that person allows them to milk them and use them and live off of them and deal with whatever they got going on, they'll stay. These people don't have an ounce of dignity, an ounce of integrity, an ounce of self-respect. So to me, the cheater archetype is becoming obsolete, because more and more people are realizing peace is preferred over drama. And when you realize drama is not normal in this context, because we grow into these certain cultural types of dynamics, not because we choose it. It's not like, oh yes, I'm going to choose you, you cheating bastard. No, you choose someone because you fall for the pretense. You believe that people have integrity, or believe that people keep their word, or you believe that you can trust a person at face value, and then it ends up being that you can't. So with so many people awakening, so many people coming to terms with their sovereignty, with their with their shadow work, and being able to understand at a deep psychological level what was lacking that allowed for that kind of treatment to even happen. Because once you know, you can't ever go back. Once you understand, hey, I don't need this. There's no dependency. There is no need for validation. There is no need for attachment. So it's like, what are you wasting your time here for? Like, you're better off alone than with bad company. So I find that energy in this, with Pluto transitioning into Aquarius, I think a lot of people are going to be realizing the value of like-minded individuals. And like-minded individuals on a higher level is sovereign individuals, individuals that have boundaries, individuals that have self-respect, individuals that are as above, so below, true to their word, true to their nature. It's like, that's integrity. Like I said, it's more respectable if you're going to come into a partnership and say, I cannot be with one person, I prefer to have multiple partners. If that's how you are, in Spanish, tal para cual, that means there's someone for everyone. You know what I mean? You can find someone that's at your caliber, someone that is into the same thing. But the thing is that the fake woke individuals will be like, yeah, no, I'm into polygamy, or I'm into, this kind of lifestyle. What they're really saying is, it's good for me, but you can't. They want you to accept that they can, but you can't. And some people actually are like, sure, no problem, I'll do that for you. And it's like, get the hell out of here. Like, that's toxic. I just heard of, where was it? I think on the Candace Owens show. She, on her podcast, or YouTube channel, I mean. She did a story on a man that has, I think it's 5 different women. They're not wives, they're all baby mamas. And they all got pregnant at the same time, and they were all celebrating their baby shower. All of them having a child by this one man. They're damaged. Those women are damaged. They don't value themselves to understand that they should be made a priority to a man. And instead they decide, well, if I can't be a priority, I'll share him and I'll pretend that I'm good with it. They're pretending. They're not happy in that situation. Don't tell me that you're special, the gift that you get to give your man, your baby shower is supposed to be for you, for your man, celebrating the life of your child, and you gotta share that shit with 4 other bitches? I don't think so. Excuse my language, but it's uncomfortable that people can be so fake and pretend that they're content when you know that they're not. There's no way in hell that you're gonna feel as if, at that point, it's like you must not value your own child that you're bringing into this world, because what you're saying is that your child isn't worthy of a commitment from their father, that your child is not worthy to be special, a product of a union that's special. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going on the karmics. Oh, I have to go back on something else. So on the other subset of karmics, the gaslighters, the harassers, the stalkers, the ones that like to send you emails and DMs and all this other shit, right? Like pretending that they work for the government and trying to elicit a certain fear out of you. Do they not know their target? Because they can't be that stupid. You have people pretending to be government officials, harassing people that have been government officials. And I'm not saying it to toot my own horn, but let's keep it real. I worked for 3 branches of our government, 2 branches of the military, and I worked for Department of Homeland Security as an officer for Immigration Services. I say that proudly, and I say that because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can qualify to do that. Not everybody has done that. So when I say that shit with fucking pride. I say that like it's a fucking badge of honor for me. Yes, it is a badge of honor for me. Am I attached to it? No, I'm not attached to that. But I refuse to allow some scumbag that thinks they're smarter than me to create a false email and a false threatening email. Oh, your social security this and your like, you fucking retard. I don't think so. The Department of State is handling you, Jesus. Fucking fag. I don't give a shit. Okay? People that do that shit, and I'm not referring to people of a sexual orientation, so that I don't get all these people harassing and be like, oh my God, you said that? You called somebody a fag? I'm not referring to them as fag in the sexual preference context. I'm calling it in the sense of, you lack cojones. You lack your manhood, okay? To be a man that wants to harass a woman that you probably don't really know, that you're probably paid by another scumbag loser to elicit some kind of fear, to pretend to be what you're not even knowing how to communicate effectively to make it look real. You are mistaken if you think you're going to get away with it. For every person that has harassed me, I have every single email. I have a file so thick on all these stupid ass little let me stop. I don't want to be insulting and make it uncomfortable for those of you that are actually genuinely kind and compassionate, considerate, and forgiving. Because we can be all of that. But there comes a certain point that some people need a taste of their own medicine, or they need to feel the wrath of what they create for themselves. And I'm not saying let me be your karma. I'm just saying sometimes you need to hear it out loud, okay? Who you're dealing with. Sometimes people need to hear it out loud, so that they understand that they're not getting away with anything, so that they understand that they're being more watched than what the watching that they think they're doing on you. I have people in high places in a lot of different areas. So don't play with me. Don't play with my collective. Don't play with anyone that is serving their calling, doing the highest good, harming none. Because I swear on everything I have, that shit's coming back tenfold on every stupid ass bastard karmic group cult bullshit little fucks that you are. It's coming back. Get ready. This is your season for payback. And I can say all that and still be smiling and still drink my coffee and not be upset about it. That's the funny thing. Sometimes you express yourself in a certain way and people are like, oh my God, why you gotta get so angry? Why you gotta be so... Who's mad? I'm not angry. I'm not mad. How I communicate is a direct reflection of what you thought you were creating for me. So if you don't like it, maybe you should check how you communicate with me, right? So I'm not speaking to you, my beautiful collective. I'm speaking to the karmic people that stalk and watch, because they can't produce anything without your feedback. They can't produce anything without your reaction. This is exactly what they wanted. They couldn't get a reaction one way, so then they try another. They couldn't get that reaction that way, so then they try another. Their little method, okay, and their little system that they got going on, okay, they think they're smart. They think they know astrology, and they think that they know how to manipulate psychologically. And at the end of the day, they don't know that as they think they're doing to another, they're actually creating a rabbit hole for themselves. They're drowning and they don't even know it yet. You know the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? I can't think of the name right now. The one with the dreams. Dream within a dream within a dream. Oh my God, I can't think of the name. Alright, so anyway. They're in the dream. They're sleeping. But in one, within the dream, they don't realize that their physical bodies outside of the dream, they were drowning. They were already drowning. because they were aware within the dream, they knew they had so much time before they could escape, and that they would end up dying if they didn't come out of it before their bodies drowned. It's the same kind of concept. They're drowning and they don't even know it yet. These bastards are dead and they don't even know it yet. Anyway, so let's do a reading for the collective and see what the current energies are, okay? Let's begin. I'm going to just place them in their proper spaces. I don't want to waste too much time with the shuffling. All right, collective. You're taking power into your own hands. You're showing up as a magician, and it has a lot to do with a dissatisfaction, emotional dissatisfaction perhaps, with certain individuals in your life. Like, you may not be content anymore with the status quo, or you may not be as content as you used to be with the way that things were on an emotional level. It's like maybe you're raising the bar. You're deciding that your level of contentment was not up to par. You were tolerating or accepting less than. You weren't emotionally fulfilled in a situation, so you're taking matters into your own hands. You're creating. You're creating yourself. You're creating a new level of happiness. Let's see what the reason is for this lack of contentment. Because you saw the truth of a matter. It's like you become matter of fact. You see things for what they are, and it's like, wait a second. It's like, why would I even bother to there's no need to pretend that you're okay with just to appease others. Oh, I don't want to ruffle feathers. Oh, I care about them. But you don't want to care about individuals that you're not even fulfilled with. You know what I mean? Just because it's what you do, or just because it's like a loyalty to a false connection, a loyalty to false dynamic. It's like it's a loyalty to your own illusion ultimately, right? Your contentment is somewhat of an illusion. It's like you may have something may have made you very happy on the onset, but then it became like a disillusionment. And despite the disillusionment, it's like, no, I want to bring it back to where it was. I want to bring it back to where it was. I want to put it back at that happy point. I want to bring it back to that moment when things were perfect. And it's like you can spend a lifetime doing that in friendships, partnerships, family relationships, jobs, the area in which you live in. It's like once you know, I don't like this, I don't want this, there's no point in trying to make it what it isn't. It isn't. And you see the truth of that. And it's like people would say, oh, but that's, you lack loyalty, or you lack commitment, or you lack... And it's like, no, you know when something just isn't for you anymore. You know when something is what it is. You can't make it change. It's like, sorry, this no longer fulfills me. Therefore, I need to move on. So something emotionally is no longer fulfilling you. And it's because you saw the truth of a matter. So you're deciding, I'm going to recreate me, or I'm going to create me to have genuine fulfillment based on the truth. Accepting the truth, seeing it for what it is, not hoping that it's going to change, not hoping that it's going to get better, not wishing it to become something more, not acting like it's more than what it is. Actual facts and truth. It either is or it is not. It's either there or it's not there. You either feel it or you don't feel it. And it's mutual or it is not. Because there's no point in you feeling it and someone else not feeling it. You and your partner decide you want to buy a house together. You love it. They hate it. Are you going to spend the next 10 years arguing, trying to change it. No, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I promise. I promise. And that person's just every day growing more and more miserable, really unhappy. And then what? It's like, it's futile to try to change a situation that isn't going to. I'm a hopeless romantic in so many ways, but I also a hopeless optimist. Okay, I believe that you can change your mind. I believe that, you know, if there was something there before, that it can be there again, or, you know what I mean, that it might have just gone the wrong path, and you can rectify it and bring it back up to par where it belongs. And it's like, no, you can't change it out there. You have to accept it within. You have to change your perspective within. You have to change the way you perceive it. And perhaps as you change, the situation will change, but it will never change unless or until you actually change it. So for some of you, taking the power back into your own hands, your sovereignty, you realize you're creating your reality. And when you take that power and you realize, I no longer am fulfilled by this thing because I see the truth of it and the integrity of it, I'm going to now create that fulfillment for myself in another area, or with someone else, or in another way, okay? Because you can't change the outside, but you can change what's going on within. In your environment, there's something that you're not seeing. The Hermit is in reverse. What is it that we don't see in the environment or getting clarity on? There's a King of Swords in reverse. So there is some kind of deceit in your environment, some truth that has not been revealed. Okay, it doesn't necessarily, it could be something to do with a health situation. But it could also be something that you need to shed the light on. It could be that you need to reveal the lies in your environment. You need to reveal and turn the lights on and what's going on underneath your nose in your own space. This could be with siblings. This could be with friendships. This could be in your neighborhood. There's some deceit or some dishonesty or some lack of integrity because people don't want to see the truth, because people don't want to accept reality as it is. There's also, there's like a lack of calling judgment. So I feel like it's being recommended to become this hermit energy, okay? To bring light into a situation in your environment. You may see things within yourself, but you're not seeing what's going on in the outside world, or you're not exposing the injustices or the lies or the lack of integrity. You're not exposing it in your environment, and maybe it's time to call judgment on that. Okay? There's someone, this could be a family member, this could be a friend, this could be someone in your neighborhood that isn't being honest with you, okay? That they're withholding information, or there's specific information in regards to, it could be in regards to some information, some documents. It could even be legal information that's being kept hidden from you, or that you're not, that's being suppressed and you're not able to see it. Let's move forward. The Ace of Cups in reverse in the home environment. I feel like you may not have love anymore for either the home that you're in. Let's see. Or I feel like you've, something is lacking emotionally in your environment. Let's see. Why is the Ace of Cups in reverse in the home? A Page of Swords. This could be a child. There could be a child that's not happy in the home. This is we have air signs, 3 air signs, and a magician could be also a Gemini, but it could also be Aries. But we have all the air signs here: Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra individuals. And we have the Virgo energy as well. I feel like there's something missing when it comes to a child, like maybe some emotional support, or a child that needs more love, or wants to, or doesn't feel loved at home. Yeah, they're not very happy. I feel like, or you might not be very happy with the situation with a child. You're not receiving love from a child, or there's a child that's not receiving love from you, or feels like they're not receiving love from you, or vice versa. Like it feels like a lack of happiness. This could also be your own inner child. Okay, there's something missing. It feels like there's just like, you could be content, you can be like, okay, but it's not that kind of like, this is true happiness. Like you could, that although I said that the energies, they might still kind of be shifty since Pluto transitioned into Aquarius. So it might take some time for that energy to kind of like, the old energy to do away with the old energy, right? So this could be like a after effects of that, like, okay, like maybe closing a chapter in the home of a situation that didn't feel fulfilling. Seeing the truth of a situation when it comes to your children, like, am I really providing my children the happiest childhood? Are we really living the best life that we can live? Are we really exploring true contentment? Because the thing is also, when you know what true contentment and happiness is, there's that, you can be satisfied without all the extras. But to be limited in what you can do, that kind of takes away from the joy, right? So it's like, let's say you were able to vacation every summer, and now you can't vacation every summer because there was something was restricted, or there was some kind of, like when the situation that happened at the end of 2019 or 2020, right? When we had what went down in 2020, and everybody had to be home and locked in and whatever, that limitation kind of set a tone. That's like, you can't do these things. And it's like, says who? And then it's like, even if you are enthusiastic, even if you're willing to be out there and defy society and go find your happiness, the society that surrounds you is caught up in that matrix, caught up in that drama of, we can't do this anymore, we're not allowed to do it. It's like, it almost feels like like, I don't want to say like the joy was taken out of the equation, but it was like, that was the intention, for the joy to be withdrawn from you. That's the energy that I get from the gaslighters, the manipulators that are harassing, and all of this stuff, especially content creators that are producing this type of content. Spirituality, real spirituality, not dogmatic religious content. Sovereignty. It's like they were trying to take the juice out of you, the joy out of you, the happiness, the ability to live a fulfilled life. Like, people talk, oh, money doesn't make you happy. No, money doesn't make you happy, but it takes money to do certain things. If what makes you happy is to spend time with your family, you need money to travel to your family. If what makes you happy is to go see new places, you need the money to go to those places. If what makes you happy is establishing a successful business, you're going to need to be supported. That business needs to be supported, and it requires money sometimes for that. We're not talking about money as the end all be all, but that's just one example. Oh, you want to go and entertain individuals and have a nice gathering at home. You need the money to provide the refreshments, or to create the environment to look appropriate for the entertainment. So you can do things without money, but it's going to limit the ability to enjoy to a certain degree. So anybody that says, oh, you don't need money for happiness, probably never lacked it to begin with, never was limited to begin with. So anyway, moving forward. Oh, I'm feisty today. We have the Five of Wands in reverse. The Five of Wands in reverse is a lack. There's no more conflict in your. I feel like the in your heart, you're not in conflict when it comes to the things that you're passionate about, that you love. It's like you don't have to fight for what you love. You don't have to fight to do what you want. There's no fight. There's no fight in order to change. It's just a matter of you're not engaging in the conflict. You're not engaging in the competition. You're not engaging in the upheaval that they want you to be in. They want to transform you in a way that makes you create some kind of negative. They want to make you create negative. And when I say they, I'm talking about the energy of the realm of social media, or the realm of media, because we have so many of these air cards. It's like the media is create. It's like they try to stir up in you these negative things. So maybe if they're altruistic and their goal is, maybe if we scare them, they'll change and they'll cause a rebellion, and that rebellion is going to change the world. We need them to get that adrenaline in them so that they can fight the good fight, so that the world can change, because everyone is so stagnant. No, not everyone is stagnant. Not everybody needs to be put through tests and trials and tribulations in order to change. Some people actually change for themselves because they want to. They don't need to be forced into it. Oh, but we don't know who, and therefore we got to do it so that the world... I mean, who made them God? Why are they thinking that that's the most appropriate method to create change in the world? You want to see real change, support people that are trailblazers. Support people that are creating real change in their own lives for themselves, without the help of these narcissistic energies trying to produce a false sense of urgency within them. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the billiard room. So your routines are very stable at this time. You have a system that works. Slow and steady wins the race. Your consistency matters, because it's slowly but surely producing a solid method or a solid plan in place. You're methodical. You're not in this race. Whatever this race is, wherever they're trying to get you to go, you're not going. Whatever they're trying to make you do, you're not doing. You're slowly but surely building your own stability, slowly but surely creating a foundation that you can work towards, that will lead to success. Genuine, long-lasting success. Success that cannot be taken from you, because it was built on such a firm structure. Deceit and lies. The Seven of Swords. Someone thinks that they're getting away with something, with some lie, trying to walk away with information. Could be someone you have a personal connection to. Or it could also be learning a spiritual lesson about this energy. People that only share certain information so that they can get information out of you. People that try to lure you to follow certain individuals in order for them to take, it's like, so that they can influence you, only to take your knowledge, your information. They're looking at they're looking back at what they left behind. It's like, okay, we're gonna just give them just this much, and then so that while they're looking at what we leave them with, they're not gonna notice what we took from them. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. So be careful with certain partnerships, whether it's a personal relationship, in business, or personal, romantic, or otherwise. Someone thinks that they're getting away with something. It's like they're leaving you. They give you just enough to keep you busy, just enough to keep you mentally preoccupied with what they informed you of. So meanwhile, while you're focused on what they left behind, they're getting away with it's like you wouldn't realize that they're taking more from you than what they're leaving you with. The Hierophant in reverse. It could be you're dealing with a Taurus individual. Someone trying to control your intellectual property. Someone trying to control your communication, or control not just what you say, but how you say it. Be very careful of who you're interacting with on a personal level and what information you're sharing personally. Because there's someone that's trying to pretend that they're connected to you, or pretend that they're just talking with you. It's just normal. But what they're doing is stealing information from you, and then they're going off somewhere else, and they're sharing that information to their benefit. Okay? We have a Knight of Cups that's hidden from your perspective at this time. Someone that has genuine love for you. This could be a romantic offer that you don't see coming. This isn't a past life soulmate. This isn't someone that you know. This is a completely new individual. Somebody completely new, different. Could be younger than you, but genuine and sincere. Could be a little idealistic and over romanticized. It could be a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces individual. They have a lot of love for you, but they may be they're a knight. You're a Queen of Swords here. So it could also just be that someone that has a lot of love for you, someone that maybe looks up to you, or someone that admires you, has a lot of love for you, might come and share that, but it's being hidden from you. Someone has a lot of love for you. This could just be someone that sees you as a mentor. Ooh, the Ace of Wands. So you put an end to a situation in order for you to have a new beginning when it comes to either a new work opportunity. This could also be a new lover. Like opening up to, this is also opening up to your creativity. Okay, like you see the spark of a new vision, of a new creative endeavor that you want to take upon yourself. It's like putting an end to an old cycle allowed for this new seed to come through, to grow. So this could be the offer of new love, an offer of, like I said, with this Knight of Cups, they might be wanting to, take it to another level with you. Like, hey, I'm really passionate about you. I really am attracted to you. But it could also be that you just have this new genuine spark of creativity, this passion, this drive in a new direction. Wow, the King of Wands. This is your career sector. This is what your status is, what you're known for. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Very passionate, a leader in your creative endeavors. Whatever this is, this Ace of Wands is, you're going to succeed in, or you are very successful in already. This is your forte. This is what you do. This is what it's like you embody this energy. Like whatever this is, whether it's a business, whether it's something you created, whether it's music, art, like I said, a business, whatever it is, whatever creative endeavor you take upon, you are a leader in this path. Like you've mastered a certain work or a certain in other words, like if somebody wants something done, they know to come to you. You're the one that knows everything about this. So you could have been put in charge of a certain project. This is your baby. You created this from scratch. You made this possible. Like you're like the template of this energy. So with the Ten of Cups in reverse, there's a group that you are no longer that you don't feel family connection to or ties to. There's like a dissolution of marriage. I heard. But it could be like in terms of with an organization or with a group of individuals that you're no longer, I feel like this could be like a karmic family, or you know how what do they call that? Like in the office environment where they'll say like, oh, we're a family, like, major corporation, they call, they have like this concept of this is our work family. This is what, like, you're not a part of that. Like you let go of a certain type of group that you thought you were involved in, that you probably saw as family. This was like, it could even be like a sector of a sector of business that you participated in that now is no longer part of your path. Like, for example, you worked at a hospital, and to you that the hospital life, like you had a camaraderie with that group of people, of healthcare individuals, like the whole system, the entire, that whole bubble of healthcare, of the healthcare field. That was your family, or that was your thing, or that's what you were about. You're no longer that. It's like you're no longer part of that. You no longer participate with it. That's no longer your group. Now you're in real estate, example, right? So it's like you have this whole new family, a whole new conglomerate of a group that is now your niche, or what you're associated to. You've moved away from conflict, mental conflict about a situation. It could be about you no longer have a mental conflict about what you've chosen to walk away from that no longer fulfills you emotionally. It could also be moving away from conflict when it comes to your environment, or moving away from the conflict of the home situation. or the things that you love. It's like whatever was bringing you conflict, whether it was internal conflict or conflict with the reality, with individuals or situation, you're not in conflict anymore. You got yourself out of conflict because you know now you're the creator of your reality. You know that when you decide, now that I see the truth of everything that I've tolerated, of everything that I've dealt with, of everything that I've put effort into that was futile. Now that you know what no longer is fulfilling or satisfying or makes your inner child happy, now that you know what doesn't make you happy, you know exactly what you need to feel fully content, fully happy, and you're moving towards calmer waters. You're moving towards a more peaceful space within yourself. So the core of this reading is about the union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Whether this is with a counterpart or whether this is with yourself, you see eye to eye. Your inner and outer are completely clear about what you need, about what you're fulfilled within. Fulfilled within. And now you're seeing the manifestation of your external fulfillment. It's like when you were able to put an end to this and move away from conflict, disruptions, you were able to close out cycles in order to now embrace a new beginning that's actually fulfilling now that you see the truth, a new beginning outside of this energy of deceit and lies and hidden motives in your environment, or surrounded by certain people that were keeping things hidden from you, people that are trying to control you, how you think or how you communicate or what you say or don't say. It's like you stayed steady, you stayed consistent every day, doing you, taking care of business, taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of, just doing what you needed to do. Just staying, sustaining, maintaining what you need to do in order to find true happiness in your home, in order to feel a sense of integrity, like, I know what happiness is, therefore in the pursuit of happiness, I'm going to be fulfilled. Honestly, truly, I feel like that's that inner union. You've demonstrated that you have the strength to overcome your own ego. You've learned to manage from your higher self your basic instincts, right? It's like trusting your own higher self, trusting that you can rule your own. You can take care of yourself. You can create this dynamic truly for yourself when you were able to overcome your shadow, when you were able to overcome the beast within, whether it manifests internally or externally. Everybody has a different path or how it expresses itself differently to every person. But in this case, I feel like you managed to integrate your masculine and feminine energies because you had the strength of will to be guided by your own higher self in the pursuit of happiness. So that is the reading, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. I hope you enjoyed. I'll come back with another message soon. Take care.